We need the whole report, including the underlying documents, unredacted.
The 448-page report details an aggressive and ultimately successful attempt by Vladimir Putin to interfere in the 2016 election and destabilize the United States.
I have nothing to do with Russia.
I know from having been on the campaign that there was no contact with Russians, no discussion with Russians.
But the report lays out scores of links between the Russian government and the Trump campaign. Among them, campaign chairman Paul Manafort regularly shared polling data with a Russian intelligence agent and received a peace plan for Ukraine that Manafort acknowledged to the special counsel's office was a backdoor way for Russia to control part of eastern Ukraine. Then there are the ties between the Trump campaign and WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks, I love WikiLeaks.
The report details advanced knowledge of WikiLeaks releases by members of the campaign, including the president, who is described as taking a phone call and then telling Deputy Campaign Chair Rick Gates that more releases of damaging information would be coming. There was the June 2016 Trump Tower meeting when Donald Trump Jr., Jared Kushner, and Paul Manafort met with Russians to get dirt on Hillary Clinton. And remember this.
To be clear, Mr. Trump has no financial relationships with any Russian oligarchs.
That's what he said. That's what I said. That's obviously what our position is.
In fact, there were many contacts arranged at the highest levels, including a meeting in the Seychelles Islands between the head of Russia's sovereign wealth fund and Trump ally Eric Prince. On obstruction, Mueller lays out 10 possible episodes, including the firing of FBI Director James Comey, the president's attempt to get Attorney General Jeff Sessions to unrecuse himself.
He took the job, and then he said, I'm going to recuse myself. I said, what kind of a man is this?
And telling White House counsel Don McGahn to fire Mueller. McGahn refused, telling then Chief of Staff Reince Priebus that the president had asked him to do crazy ass. McGahn threatened to resign. In fact, the day Mueller was appointed, May 17, 2017, President Trump, quote, slumped back in his chair and said, "Oh my God, this is terrible. This is the end of my presidency. I'm effed." Adding later, "This is the worst thing that ever happened to me." Though the Attorney General claims
the White House fully cooperated with the special counsel's investigation.
In fact, the report details how individuals lied or deleted communications, and the president refused to sit for an interview with the special counsel. President Trump responded to written questions with some version of "I do not recall" or "I do not remember" 37 times. Now, some Democrats are pressing for impeachment proceedings.
We have a Constitution of the United States, and it says when a president engages in this kind of activity, then it's time for impeachment.
But House Democratic leaders, led by Speaker Nancy Pelosi, are putting the brakes on, saying one step at a time.
The avenue is not impeachment. The avenue is further disclosure to the American people.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and then click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.